And here we are. It's going to be MLG Zelnaga Caverns for game number 4 between UMBC and Columbia University. Columbia University is about to, could possibly hand UMBC its first match defeat of the CSL year. And over here in the top corner, we have Taylor Swift playing for Columbia University, and his opponent or her opponent is going to be Ice's, the red Terran player in the bottom corner playing for UMBC. This is MLG Zelnaga Caverns. I think I said that already. But this map, balanced for TVT, kind of imbalanced for everything else, unless it's a mirror. A little bit of worker twitching going on here, making sure that he gets that, I think, 7% bonus. Ice is doing the same thing over here as well. We'll see how their builds differ after about 3 minutes, but essentially in the beginning of the game, Terran versus Terran builds basically look the same, unless somebody's going for something real crazy, usually involving extra barracks and cheese and something in the middle of the map. But for now, both players getting up their supply depots, continuing to make SCVs. The Zelnaga Caverns map has this central focal point. The gold minerals are there, and it's also a vital point to control if you want to be able to take more and more expansions in the late game. Ice is now throwing down his barracks. As with Taylor Swift over here, we'll see if either player decides to go for gas. Both players are also basically scouting at the exact same time. Ice is now throwing up his gas, and Taylor Swift doing the exact same thing as well. Mirror build so far, a little bit of SCV drilling over here going on. Ice is going to recontrol that SCV and bring it to see the gas coming out of Taylor Swift. Oh, that sounded really odd. I'll let you guys figure out why. There's the barracks finishing up, and the SCV returning back to mine, as well as the orbital command coming up. That SCV from ICE's, I believe, was killed off. Let's take a look. Yeah, workers killed. One. That does put ICE's behind just a little bit. There's the Marine coming up as well. Taylor Swift looks like she is, or it's he. He's definitely going to be walling off the front with another supply depot. There's also more Marines coming out for ICE's. There's also a factory on the way for both players. No second gas, so it's probably going to be Marine tank for now. Reactor getting started by ICE's, being really careful right now. It's taking control of the Zelnaga watchtower as well. 2 Marines coming to the front. Taylor Swift actually not opting to get a reactor, so he's going to be a little bit behind on the Marines later on. After that reactor does finish up, a bunker is coming up as well for ICE's. Hellions now getting started by ICE's. There's the reactor finishing up. There should be a starport plopping down right about now. There's a starport coming up for ICE's. And same, a starport coming up over here for Taylor Swift. He's also getting a bunker of his own. First Hellion is out and will be scouting about the map. There's the 2 Marines coming to the front for ICE's. That Hellion is going to check the Zelnaga watchtower and find absolutely nothing there. There's the Hellion now kind of stuck. There's 2 Marines trying to run over here and take out that Hellion. Very nice control out of ICE's, spreading those 2 Marines so they can't get hit. Getting a couple of hits off on that Hellion, but Hellions are definitely faster and should be able to clean up this Marine without too much of a problem. Hellion coming up for ICE's. And there's that Hellion for Taylor Swift now retreating back home. Bunker is complete, so ICE's won't be able to do too much damage up at the front. A medevac's getting started by ICE's as well. More Marines pouring out of this barracks. Not much else coming out of this factory for now. We should be seeing a transition over to tanks eventually, but I believe as of this point it's going to happen after he gets a natural expansion up. He is getting his gas right now. So that leads me to think that he's not going to be getting his expansion up anytime soon. There's the Hellions retreating back home, and a stream of Marines up to the Zalnaga Watchtower for Taylor Swift, and a swing by over here for ISIS. Looks like they're going to be in a little bit of a base tradey mode. There's the medevac flying by. I don't believe Taylor Swift actually saw that. And the Hellions are going to be able to poke up to the front. The bunker does load up, and there is a Viking out on the field. He needs to unload those Marines before that medevac gets taken out. All of the Marines now unloading, and here comes Taylor Swift up into the main. The Marines and the Hellions will get elevator lifted into the main of ISIS, and there's the Marines unloading from that bunker and running back to help defend. He needs to get those guys spread out a little bit better. The Viking trying to take out that medevac, and down the medevac goes, and ISIS is actually bringing all of his forces home to deal with this. He's running his SCVs now. The Viking has also landed. The Viking does get taken out, and ISIS, all of his SCVs just sitting idly by. Is there anything he can do? Here comes the Hellions back into the main, but the SCVs are just cowering in the corner now. The SCVs need to return back home to do some work, get himself back into this game. Taylor Swift has taken out 11 workers. ISIS needs to remake those workers and perhaps try to do some damage of his own. Taylor Swift with 2 tanks up here already, so there's that crucial tank transition that you need to do as Terran in a Terran versus Terran. Medevac loading up with a couple of SCVs. He's going to try to do a little bit of counter damage. There are 2 Vikings in the air, so I don't know if he's actually going to be able to do too much. The only saving grace is that Taylor Swift does not have siege tech done. And ISIS, he's made a second factory, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make too much out of it. He's starting his natural expansion now. Taylor Swift already has his done. A Viking checking out the premises over here for ISIS. Going to take a couple of shots at that orbital command, and that medevac is going to get in a free into the back of Taylor Swift's base. This could be a way to get back into this game. All of the SCVs are not yet running, and they're lining up now. Looks like the 3 Hellions here not quite able to do enough damage yet. 2 SCVs killed off. They need to chase after those SCVs pronto. A couple more units getting killed off, chasing after these bunched up groups. And they've lined up once again to kill it off, and it looks like 11 workers killed by ISIS. That's going to pull him back a little bit, but since he does not have his natural expansion done, he does not have the capacity to double make SCVs as of yet, and his opponent also has double mules at his disposal. ISIS now pulling back his Marines. More Hellions have been created, and the first siege tank is also on the way. Blue Flame is also coming up for ISIS, and he's about ready to float his natural command center out. He's floating it early. I think the mineral difference is quite large for if you changed it into an orbital command earlier on, but it is oversaturated, so it would be nice to transfer a couple of SCVs out there. He's also running pretty dry here on the mineral patches. I believe 1 or 2 patches are already gone. And over here, Taylor Swift pushing up to the front. He does have siege tech now, and ICE is going to be advancing forward. The Hellions getting up into the faces of those tanks. He needs to take out all of those Marines, and the tanks also rolling up. The Vikings landing for ICE's, and it looks, or no, those are Taylor Swift's Vikings landing. ICE's Vikings have been killed off, and this orbital command being forced to cancel and lift. The Vikings also coming up to join the battle, and this command center will fall. And with that, I don't know if ISIS can actually come back. Taylor Swift almost doubling him in supply. ISIS is getting his siege tank finish up here. If he can get a siege tank sieged, Taylor Swift will have a lot harder time pushing up the front. However, Taylor Swift, even if he loses this battle, he does have a really large economy to fall back on. ISIS hanging in there for the UMBC team. The medevac, the Hellions are now running across the field, and you're going to see if they can do some damage to the mineral line over here of Taylor Swift. He is pausing his SCV production for just a little bit, supply depots up at the front are going to get taken out here. The Vikings providing adequate spotting for all of those sea shanks. Another supply depot will fall here eventually, and the 3 Hellions making their way into the natural expansion of Taylor Swift. That does force a little bit of a deny of mining, but he still has those mules and a much larger army up at the front of ICE's base. ICE is here running very low on mineral patches, now down yet another mineral patch. Running dry on the money. One medevac getting taken out. Again, that's a huge hit to ICE's. He doesn't have too many ways to actually counterattack his army right now. He's going to be lifting his barracks to see exactly what's going on, but 3 Vikings in the air will quickly take that out. Barracks just checking out what's at the front, and the SCVs, Sea Shanks, everything is gonna be trying to push up to the front. Here comes the Hellions into the battle, and the Vikings landing to join it as well. Taylor Swift holding that down, and ISIS GG out of this game. Columbia University handing UMBC a defeat 3-1, first of the season. Congratulations to Columbia University for winning another game, another match. I don't know exactly how many they've won in the past, but that does it for this week's CSL. We'll see you guys next week for more games. I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe. See you guys next time.